יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, ואני ברוב חסדך אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אליך קודשך ביראתך. אדוני אהבתי מעון ביתך ומקום משכן כבודך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, מבחינותיך ישראל, ואני ברוב חסדך אבוא ביתך, ואני אשתחווה יך. אברך לפני אדוני, עושי אדוני עושי, ואני תפילתי לך אדוני, עת רצון אלוהים ברוב חסדך, ענני באמת אישך, ענני באמת אישך. And a good morning, good Shabbos. Gemar Chatima Tova, I'll say that again to you later on. May you be inscribed for good in your book of life. We are going to continue with our Shabbat morning service in our Mishkan Tefillah prayer book. I just finished singing the opening for Matovu, which welcomes not just all of us here, but also talks about how goodly our place is at this time. And on page 194, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma u'varavo nikavim nikavim chalulim chalulim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Baruch atah Adonai rofech chol basar umafli la'asot. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Page 196. Eloheinu shema shenatata b'Torahi, ata vorata, ata yatzarta, ata nefachta bi v'ata meshamra b'kirbi. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks. Thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, veruach kol basar ish. And now, after these morning blessings, Birchot HaShachar, the blessings for this Shabbat morning, Shabbat Shuvah, the Shabbat of return. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But now the Pesukei de Zimra. We go into the second section of our service, which are the poems and psalms of praise. And on page 212, Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu. Baruch osev reshit, Baruch omer v'yoseh, Baruch gozer kayem, Baruch merachim al ha'aretz, Baruch merachim al ha'briot, Baruch mishalem sachar tov l'reyav, Baruch chai la'ad v'kayem la'netzach, Baruch podeh umatzil, Baruch Shemo. On page 213, with this do I prepare myself to thank, praise, and glorify my Creator. Blessed are you, sovereign of life, whom we praise with songs of glory. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mechulal batishbachot. We will continue now on page 218 as we sing the last of the 150 Psalms. Remember, when we sing the last of something or say the last words of a prayer, it's as though we have said the whole prayer. Just like the Torah reading, if we do the last phrase of the Torah reading with a Baal Koreh or Baalat Qiyah, then it's as though we've read the whole Torah. So it's always good to kind of remember that. The last words sometimes are the best, aren't they? So in this page 218. Hallelujah, hallelujah, el bekodsho, hallelujah, birkia uzo, hallelujah, bivrotav, hallelujah, piro kudlo, hallelujah, beteka shofar, hallelujah, benevel vechinor, hallelujah, betov machol, hallelujah, b'minim v'utav, hallelujah, hallelujah, b'tziltzilei shema, hallelujah, hallelujah, b'tziltzilei tuah. Kol הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה, הללויה. כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה, הללויה. נשמת כל חי Tivarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. On page 219. Let the soul of everything alive bless your name, Adonai our God, and the spirit of all flesh glorify and exalt your name forever, O Sovereign. Transcending space and time, you alone are our God. We have no sovereign besides you, God of the first and the last. God of all creatures, master of all generations, who is praised in the multitude of praises, who guides the world with abundant loving kindness and all creatures with mercy. Adonai neither slumbers nor sleeps. God awakens the sleeping, arouses those who slumber, gives speech to the mute. And God loosens the bonds of captives. God supports the fallen and strengthens those who are bent over. You alone do we acknowledge. On page 222, in the middle of the page. Shochenad marom vekadosh shemo vechatu veranenu tzarikim madon la yisharim nava tehillah. In the multitude of choirs, your people Israel, your name is to be glorified in joy in every generation, O our Sovereign. Yishtabach shimcha lad malkeinu. You shall always be praised, great and holy God, our Sovereign in heaven and on earth. Songs of praise and psalms of adoration become you, acknowledging your might and your dominion. Yours are strength and sovereignty, sanctity, grandeur, and glory always. We offer our devotion. Open our hearts in acclamation. Praised are you, Sovereign of wonders, crowned in adoration, delighting in song, eternal majesty. And now, on page 226. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach לעולם ועד. And now we continue with the Shema on page 232. But let's just pause for a moment, because we are in our third section of the service. And think about this past week. And just hang on to one thing. Think about something significant that happened to you or for you this past week. Or maybe it's something that you did for somebody else. Maybe by accident. Maybe circumstances caused you to have to be caught in a random act of kindness. I want you to think about that for just a moment. Hang on to that. And once you finish that, let's sing the Shema as not just a pledge to God, but also a pledge to yourself, that you will look to run, to move toward a mitzvah as much as you can this next week. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Va'ed. And now on page 234. Ve'ahavata et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibareta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechlecha v'derech uveshochbecha uvekumecha uksharetam leot al yadecha v'chayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavetam al mezuzot beitecha uvishearecha למען תזכרוהו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם גירושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי ידכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Let's turn to page 240 for the Micha Mocha at the top of the page. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai Micha Mocha neda b'kodesh Nora tehilot oseh feleh שיר החדשה שירו גאולים ושמחה על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Let's turn to page 242 and if you can, stand for the Amidah. I know you might be home alone, but still, you might be sitting in your home alone, but you are never really, really alone. Wherever you go, wherever you stand, not only is God and nature around you, but 4,000 years of history is under you in the souls of every living Jew stands with you. You're never alone, even at home. Sleep on that. Think about it. Never forget it. Page 242. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 244. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei Hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, זוכרנו לחיים. מלך חופץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah. Page 246. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayech hakol atah rav lehoshia, mohorid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayech hakol ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה hakol. And if you were reading the Hebrew for the Shabbat Shuvah insert, you see Av. If you look at the transliteration, you see Ale. Pick one and go with it. Let's turn now to page 242 as we remain standing, if you are still standing, for the Kedusha. Nekadesh et shemecha ba'olam, b'shem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, takatu hayad v'yecha v'karazeh el zeh v'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai tzivahot, melokol haaretz, kivoto, adir areinu, Adonai, Adonenu madir, shimcha bechol haaretz, baruch kivod Adonai, ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא יושיענו, ברחמיו מעיני כל החי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושפחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. To all generations we will declare your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. And blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. I want to scoot ahead, if we could, to page 256, in the middle of the page. Right in the middle of the page, it says, right below on Hanukkah, which of course we don't have to worry about. But I want us to go right past the Shabbat Shuvah, Chutov, L'chaim, Tovim, Kol B'nei Britecha. Let's go right past there, which says, inscribe all the children of your covenant for a good life. Because right there, right after that, is a beautiful setting of Bechol HaChayim Yoducha Selah 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 Bechol HaChayim Yoducha Selah 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 Hallelu et shimcha be'emet ha'el Yeshuatenu ve'ezratenu Selah, Selah, Selah. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you're worthy of thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. We're all about gratitude moving into the new year, the cycle of the new year. And at 1 o'clock, or 1:30 rather, on Yom Kippur Day, there will be a discussion about gratitude as well in the sanctuary, but will also be available on Zoom. And also after that will be another discussion from 2:30 to 3:30. So there will be prayer, study, and Chevruta all day during Yom Kippur. Let's move on now to the Torah reading, don't you think? This section of the Torah, and I'm going to go get it over here if you don't mind, so I'm going to come off the camera for just a minute, but I'll keep talking. This section of the Torah is entitled Vayelech, and normally it's assigned to Nitzavim. It's a double parsha, but because this year is going to be an extended year, we're breaking these out, these parshiot. So they're very small. Nitzavim last week was only about a chapter, and this one, Vayelech, is also a chapter, Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 1 through 30. And if you were at Torah study just before our service, you heard my statement to the class at the end that Nitzavim, Vayelech, and Ha'azinu, which is next week, is a suite. It is a suite of 3 sections that are kind of put together and really gives us the way in which we should act or think about when we are moving forward into our lives, or moving ourselves, or moving our community forward. And they are Nitzavim. Everyone set yourself, from the word tzav, to set, to stand firm and look forward as a group. Establish your footing. Vayelech, Vayelech. Move forward. Lech, Vayelech. You will move forward. But you move forward as one body. When you all came together, Nitzavim, all of you, you formed one body. One body. And as one body, we move forward. And then Ha'azinu, here. Ha'azinu, from Haza, to here. That's for next week's Torah reading. Hear the call. And in this context of the Torah reading, the call of your future. Because what's happening here? Moses is telling the people that he is going to die. And he, according to some of our scholars, visited every tribal leader. and went into their tents and said, I'm going to die. And Joshua is going to be my successor. So he gathered everybody together and he announced that there will be a succession moving forward to the promised land. Well, you know, the high holidays are really important for us for congealing, to coming together. And even though this pandemic has torn us or attempted to tear us apart, it has attempted to tear us apart. And it's succeeded on many levels and in many subpopulations in this community. But for us Jews, we have been forged with many layers of history, events, circumstances that have tried to tear us apart, but have proven ineffective in doing so. And so, you're watching this right now, and you can see that the Jewish spirit will always, always find a way to keep us together. Let's do a little bit of Torah reading. So let's do the Torah blessings together. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten HaTorah. Amen. Vayelech Moshe vayidaber et hadvarim ha'ele el kol Yisrael. Moses went and spoke these things to all Israel. Vayomer alehem ben me'ah v'yasrim shana anochi hayom lo uchal od letzeit v'lavo. V'Adonai amar elai lo ta'avor et hayarden hazeh. And he said to them, now I am 120 years old and I can no longer be active. Moreover, God has said to me, you shall not cross the Jordan. Adonai Elohecha hu over lefanecha hu yashmid et hagoyim ha'ele melifnecha v'rishtam. Yehoshua hu over lefanecha ka'asher diber Adonai. And God, your God himself will cross over before you, and God will wipe out those nations from your path, and you shall dispose them. Joshua is the one who shall cross before you, as God had spoken. Ve'asa Adonai lachem kasher asa l'sichon u'le'og malchei ha'emori u'le'aretzam asher hishmid otam. And God will do them as he did to Shihon and Og, kings of the Amorites, and to their countries, when he also contributed to, let's just say, getting rid or, eliminating them. You are terminated. Untatam Adonai lifnechem, vasitem lachem kechol hamitzvah asher tziva etchem. And God will deliver them upon you, and you shall deal with them in full accordance with the instruction that God has enjoined upon you. Chizku v'imtzu al tiru v'al ta'aretzu mipnehem ki Adonai Elohecha hu ha'olech imcha mimach lo yarpecha ve'lo ya'azeveka. As it says, be strong and resolute. Be strong and resolute. Stand, be strong and resolute as you move forward. Be not in fear or in dread of anybody as long as you're together. For God, your God, marches with you and will not fail you or forsake you. Let's sing together the blessing after the Sefer Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayehi olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah. And again, I'm not going to necessarily lift the entire Torah, but trust me, it's here in full array, and I read the Torah for you at this point. We are going to conclude our service now, but before we do, I want to offer a prayer on page 371, and it's a prayer for those who are ill. On this Shabbat Shuvah, may not all of us just return to our, to where we are, to who we are, and to what we are, but let's see if we can all return to those states of being where we have felt our most vital, our most elegant, and our most productive. And let's wish for others that they also will be able to renew their strength toward a better life. Avotenu lekor haberacha leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu lekor haberacha lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals and allows healing for the sick. Amen. Hey, let's see if we can conclude our service as we go to the Aleinu, which is now found on page 200, or 500, 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo samachelakenu kahem, v'kohor aleinu kechol amonam, va'anachanu koreim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh Baruch Hu, page 591, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech halakol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. And now we turn to the Mourner's Kaddish. Prayer of thanksgiving makes no reference to death, but rather acknowledges life, the gift of life, and the opportunities for us to express gratitude for all that is around us. As we learn in our Amateurs of the Great Assembly on Thursdays, that the Kabbalistic practice of gratitude means that every breath is regarded as an opportunity to live. So we are grateful for every breath. We are grateful for every opportunity to see the world around us, and even the bad in the world. Because even when there is bad in the world, we realize that on balance, it is up to us to create that balance in the world, to be good, see bad, do good. And that's how we find equilibrium in the world. So we are grateful also, believe it or not, for all those bad things in the world, because they help to identify ourselves as good, but gives us opportunities to find out more about ourselves through the trials, through the negatives, and causes us to learn more about ourselves and the world around us. So don't worry about the bad things. Don't look at them and think so horribly about them. Embrace them, absorb them, take them in, and take that negative energy and turn it into positive energy. Because you and you alone can fix your world. Yeah. So now we thank God for all the souls that have gone before us and that worked very, very hard to create this world in which we live and this beautiful life that we enjoy. So we say together on page 598, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba be'alama divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach le'ulam u'lolmei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brich hu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'olma v'imeru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Return to us and we shall return. Renew our days as in the past. And not the sacrifices in the temple, but please renew us in our better days so that we can work to make tomorrow better. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and born again. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva. Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Iketem. Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Iketem. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Gamar Chatima Tova, may you be inscribed for good in your book of life. And I'll see you Wednesday night for our Kol Nidre service. Gamar Chatima Tova, over Shabbat Shalom. See you soon.